What's up, guys? Welcome back to another training wrap up. We're about 5 weeks-ish away from Worlds right now. Like I said in the last video, training has started to ramp up, the frequency's up, the volume's up. The intensity's actually a little bit less, but with the inclusion of heavy singles, we're still getting some heavy stuff in there. So today I came in and started off with competition squats, warmed up. I think I hit 255 kilos for my ramp up. And that moved like it should. It moved about a 7. And then I proceeded to go up to my top set for today. It was a single at 270 kilos. And that moved really, really well. Now the past 3 or 4 blocks where I've done singles, 270 to 275-ish has been kind of my last single of the block. Whereas this time around, it's the second single of my block. And it moved really well. It moved like an 8. Depth was there. Everything held up. No real loss of positioning. I was really, really happy with it. Came down from there and did some working sets, some volume. I think it was sets of 4 at 237.5 kilos. And those moved pretty well. By the end of the last rep of the last set, things were feeling pretty heavy. But what are you gonna do? Again, technique held up. Everything felt pretty good. The body's holding together really well. I'm not having any hip issues right now, knock on wood, but everything feels pretty damn good on the hip, including squatting, which normally bothers it a little bit. So I'm pretty happy about that. Moved on from there to do some incline pin press. That was up 5 kilos from last week, so I hit a single at 132.5 kilos. And then I hit a single at 140 kilos. Did some volume, some triples. I think my top one there was 125, 127, somewhere in that range. And then we did question of the day. What's up, guys? Question of the day today comes from Nathan Vander Riet. Don't know if you had any experience at all with this or any advice, but yesterday I went for a short run for the first time in ages. I have no experience with that. What is this? Our real question of the day comes from Black Stabbath, apparently. Sick name, by the way. And the question is about when it's okay to use straps in training. Now, I think it's one of those answers that very much it depends, but I'll try to talk about what it depends on and how and why. So basically, we can use straps as a training tool, in my opinion, if you're able to hold on to max weights and grip is not an issue in competition. If you get to the point where you're dropping heavy weights, where your grip is slipping, and where you're starting to miss lifts based on your grip, you need to stop using straps or use straps a lot less. We can get into grip training maybe in the next video, but for now we're gonna continue to talk just about straps and strap usage. The way that I use straps is I hook grip my heavy singles, or at least a rep or 2 of my heaviest work for a given day, and then use straps for everything else. This allows me to do a little bit of a static hold to train the grip, make sure that it's strong enough for those maximum weights, but it lets me get away with doing a little bit less work with my hook grip, because if I do all of my work sets of all of my exercises with hook grip, it's gonna tear the crap out of my thumbs and probably do more harm than good. So that's the way that I use straps. That's kind of how I would recommend most people do it. If, you know what, let's just get into a little bit on grip right now. If you're having troubles holding on to your top stuff, what I would recommend is try and do more work with your grip or without straps, and static holds on your heaviest stuff. Now, if you're not doing singles, I'd make that either the first or the last rep of a heavy set. And if you are doing singles, then I would just do that in the singles, obviously. Another potential thing to supplement your grip strength training with would just be deadlifts with like a 20-second hold with maybe 60, 70%. But basically static grip work in the deadlift pattern specifically is gonna be the most transferable thing you can do in terms of increasing your grip strength. So hopefully that answers your question, and keep them coming. We got a lot of really good questions on the last couple videos, but I'm on to deadlifts now. After that, we got back into some comp deadlifts, and comp deadlifts today warming up felt a little bit sluggish. I pulled 322.5 and it just felt like felt like it was glued to the floor for the first inch. I'm not sure if my positioning maybe wasn't what it could have been, or if it was just kind of a mental thing of feeling a little bit heavy. But regardless, I took the planned jump to 340, despite feeling that this is a little bit off today. And the 340 moved as well, if not a little bit better than the 322. So again, really good step forward. I'm on track for where I want to be in this block. And then I did some volume work, 262.5 kilos, just for some real easy sets of 5. I'm working with 70% on the deadlifts. My deadlift seems to respond pretty well to a top single and then relatively light working weight volume. My squats programmed somewhere a little bit more moderately, maybe about 80% of my estimated max. And my bench is definitely the heaviest, which I forgot to mention, did some comp bench today. Worked up to 147.5 kilos for some triples there. And bench, as has been the trend for the last little while, is feeling really, really good. So again, I'm really happy with where things are at. I'm really thankful to be feeling this good, feeling like everything's kind of on track, feeling like everything's kind of coming together. It's a pretty critical time, obviously, so I'm just happy to be here, man. But that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for all the questions of the day. That's been great. And just a quick reminder, we do have a paid form check service. We've had a couple people interested. We've had a couple people have a lot of really good results from that. What we'll do is we'll take a look at a number of your lifts for a fee, and then we will give you a full page, 2-page usually, about write-up on cues on accessory and supplemental movements for programming's sake, as well as a personalized video, getting back to you and kind of tying everything together in the same way that I would with my online coaching clients. So you can think of it almost as a snapshot of online coaching. So if any of you guys are interested in that, we have that for sale at calgarybarbell.com. Head on down there and check it out. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. If you liked it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button to stay tuned. And if you have any more questions for us, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Bye-bye.